What's going on, you guys? Hopefully y'all doing good. Another day. It's been a while since I made a video, but back at it. So, thought about quitting? Are you at that point where like you don't know if it's the right thing to do? Is it worth it? Is it worth being out here? Is it worth driving a truck? Is it worth being OTR? Are you thinking about quitting your first year in? That's what we're talking about today. If you thought I was quitting, you thought wrong. So that's what we're talking about, because a lot of the new drivers, they will get into trucking, and within their first year, they can't cope with it. They get sick and tired of it. They want to go home. They want to give up what they worked hard for. They want to quit. And here's my theory and thought on that. So you want to quit. You want to give up. You want to throw the towels in. You want to say, screw it, I'm going back to my 9-to-5 job. And that's what a lot of people do, because they realize once the majority of companies you work for, you gotta go OTR for at least 3 to 6 months. And a lot of people can't deal with being gone that long. It is a lot on yourself. It's a lot on if you have a family, if you have kids, a wife. It's a lot on the household. And a lot of people within their first month or two, they quit. They're gone. They give up. And now there's nothing wrong with that, because here's my theory on it. If you came out here, you got your license, and it's not what you thought it was, there's nothing wrong with going back to your job, doing whatever you're doing. Or if you decide to go local, there's nothing wrong with that either. But remember, just because you got your CDL, it doesn't mean you have to be out here for years and years being OTR. You got 4 different kinds of people. You got the ones that like local, they just do local. You got dedicated, they just do dedicated. They got regional and OTR. You always have a certain person that finds their key thing out here in trucking. So if you go OTR, you don't like it, go local. If you don't like local, try something else. If all comes to worse, at the end of the day, you tried all 4 things, you still don't like it, and you want to go back to your 9-to-5, there's nothing wrong with that. My first year in, I was about to give up. I was about to throw in the towel, say, screw it, fuck it, I'm done. I am so over this. I wasn't getting home like I was supposed to be back in 2015. I wasn't making the money. I could have made more money at working on cars than being out on the road like I was. And I almost gave it up too. But I stuck through it. And now, 5 years later, I'm making more money. But is the money worth it? That is the key. It is your time versus the money worth it? By that I mean, is it worth the time to be out here weeks at a time, months at a time? You're gone for years at a time. Because the way I mean that is, if you're out here for 5 years like I am, you tend to miss a lot of stuff. And here is the real question for all the new drivers. I got new people coming in that are getting their CDL. So here's the real question is, Is it worth your time to miss everything that's going on at home to be out here to make $1,200, $1,400 a week, and you're gone every single week? That is the real question. Is that worth it? I've been out here for 5 years now. If I knew what I knew back 5 years ago from now, my question is, I would not jump into it. I would not be out here right now. I would more than likely be local. If not local, I would probably still be working on cars. Here's my theory on it. Is for everything that I missed being gone 4-6 weeks at a time, you can't get that back. So remember that when you go OTR for years and years, like I've done, other drivers have done, remember that, is it worth the sacrifice that what you're gonna lose? Let's say you got kids that are growing up. Let's say you got 1 to 2 year olds. Remember, when you're gone, you're gonna miss a lot of what's going on with them growing up, all that stuff. I don't have kids. I'm just kind of explaining what would happen, just so that way people can really think on, is it really worth it? Do I plan on doing OTR the rest of my life? No, I don't plan on it. Do I plan on trucking the rest of my life? Who knows? I'm already coming on into a year being back with Knight. So who knows? Options are out there. Could I go local here in the near future? Next year even? Maybe. But it all depends on what I decide to do. So, it's already 5.5 years in, and end of the year it will be 6 years that I've been out here. So who knows? I could stay out here for the other 4 more years. I could stay out here for a year. But here's the thing, for a lot of people, including myself, you don't have to stick to one thing. I worked on cars for 5 years. I went to school for automotive. So even if I decide to get out of trucking, I have something to fall back on to where I can still make $40,000 to $50,000 a year and still be comfortable, because I have no debt. Other people's situations might be different, but in the end of the day, you got to be able to figure out what you want to do and what's best for you and or your family if you're married. And that's just how it is. So hopefully this helped you all out with deciding if you're thinking about quitting, giving up. So if you like it, thumbs it up. I will try to do more videos. It's just I've been busy with working and doing all that stuff. So if you're new to the channel, please hit that subscribe button, and we will hopefully be going home Monday morning for some much needed home time. So y'all be safe. See you on the next one.